Hey everyone, this is Alexandra Van Horn, and I am here today with a wonderful guest who is going to help those of you who have a message to give the world or a service they want to give the world, and they know they need some more tech help, tech guidance, websites, graphic design, you name it. We have an expert here, Caitlin Harrison. She's a brand and web design expert who helps overwhelmed service-based entrepreneurs. These business owners want a brand that propels their business forward, have their tech work effortlessly done while bringing their ideal clients to the table. The majority of her 15 plus year graphic design career was in print publishing as a creative director for two different monthly magazines. In 2020, like many, she was looking to pivot and help others with their small business struggles. Caitlin brings her intrinsic knowledge of layout and design to her clients' brand and website projects. She lives in Raleigh, North Carolina with her husband and 3-year-old son. Welcome, Caitlin. Welcome. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Wow. So this is exciting. I mean, I know from my own experience that no matter how easy our phones and our laptops make things look with applications, if we go to create something on our own, it all goes down to the technology experts. And then all of a sudden we raise up our hands and say, I don't know how to do this. Enter Caitlin.
Yes. And there's a lot of services out there that, tout the idea that you can do it all yourself and you don't need to be super techie. And that's true to a point. And so, I love to then kind of take it to the next level and empower business owners to really get their message out. It can be overwhelming. There's a million ways to build a website these days. And that even just how to get started is usually the first question I get from potential clients when I'm having the conversation.
Yeah. And so the simplest thing often is like, oh, I'll just think of a name for my website and I'll go buy that name off of GoDaddy or wherever, Google Domains, which is what I've done. And then there's all these other little separate things that is a totally different language. What I've tried it a few times and I've always had to surrender to somebody else. Say, can you fix this? I don't know what a C name is or an A record or an alias. It's literally a language that, and even if you try to find out what it means, the definition is just as hard to understand to somebody who's not techie.
Yeah, and there's such a learning curve to it, and I do think that that we're in a time now where information is at your fingertips all the time, and so I think the inclination is that I should be able to figure it out myself, right, versus trying to find the expert. And there's the same reasons you can go to webmd.com and try and self-diagnose yourself. You're still going to need that doctor.
Yeah.
Really.
Good example. Exactly.
We feel in this day and age that you have to know all the answers and figure it out yourself and then do it yourself. And I think that that's a detriment to people when your zone of genius is a totally different area. It's whatever your business idea is.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't be spending hours of your time
right,
trying to figure out what
apps make it look so easy. You just point and click, and it's like there's a lot of work that goes behind that point and click stuff.
Absolutely.
Right. Wow. So tell me, like, what are some of the ways that you've helped people, like specific businesses that you want to share about, or anything particular you'd like to share about clients?
Yeah, so I was helping a woman or two women that they are nurse practitioners, and they help people get their medical marijuana license in the state of Connecticut. And so with that, their demographic tends to also skew a wide range, but elderly, and how to navigate a website, and to better fulfill their client need, it was finding the right, they had found each one had different setups, and they were merging their companies and integrating into a platform, and all of that kind of stuff that gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that you want to have a phone number right away for the people that don't want to bother filling out the forms, because that might be out of their scope. So it is thinking about, or then you've got the younger demographic that do want to just go in, fill out my form, set up my schedule, get on the call, get it done. So you
Right.
kind of, and to map it out. So that was a key piece of the website design, was writing out those steps of like how it works in
Mhm.
really clear language, because it could be overwhelming, and it's a great health benefit for them. And so that sort of like cohesive idea of how we make it easy for the nurses to do their
Right.
job, but then for their patients to find them and sign up for their service.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just today, I was reading your checklist, which is something that folks at State of the End will be able to get on how to
Yeah.
learn about what their website needs, or and I was looking through it, and then one of the features was if someone doesn't have a mouse or has trouble using their mouse, how to navigate your website. And I used your tip, and I'm like, oh, we got to go back and look at that. The tab
They're
works
usually,
sometimes.
yeah, there's usually easy fixes for all of these things, but accessibility is really on the rise, and there are now also legal ramifications if your site is not
Oh, wow. It's like being handicapped
accessible.
accessible.
Yeah,
Holy moly.
so it's
Wow.
the tabs using the keyboard, and then there's also like I mean there's you can go down a rabbit hole, but it's the color contrast. So if you have low vision, it's having alt tags with your images. So if someone's using a reader to like read the website to them, if they can't see it all. So there's a
Okay.
lot of things that in terms of accessibility that's on the rise that, we need to
Wow.
make sure not everyone has the same
Abilities or
abilities, and
laptops or
right, and yeah, or laptops and all that kind of stuff. So that is a key piece that's often overlooked, and
right.
I try to make
Yeah.
sure.
Well, that's great to know. I'm definitely going to have to explore that with you. I know, like I've done a few websites here and there. And one of the challenges I found is like, it looks great on the laptop. And then I look at it on my phone and it's like
Mhm.
pieces are missing or overlapped or cut off. It's
Yep.
like, what? You got to go back and forth and make sure you're only editing the one that's on the phone and only editing the one that's on the laptop. That's a trip.
Yes,
A trip
it
and a
is.
half.
It is. And as someone who came from a print background where it was all one size, that's been my
Right.
biggest struggle, is to remember, like, because I can make everything look fantastic on the desktop. And then I realize, oh, I got to make sure. And so,
It's like you're designing two websites, really. It's really
basically,
what you're
yeah.
doing. Yeah.
And even then, you're never going to be perfect because everyone's cell phone's a different size or they're on a
Yeah.
tablet. So, and like I have
Yeah.
a gigantic monitor and that's
Mhm.
a laptop. So it's the idea of learning all of that sort of
Right. Trying to find the middle of the road. Because like I know
mhm.
with my website, some of the text boxes are like on my laptop screen, it's right up to the edge. And
Yep.
there's like no margin there.
Mhm.
But my virtual assistant who created it, she said, oh, looks great on mine. So it's
Mhm.
like, how do you pick? So at least it's visible on mine. So it's good.
Yes.
So yeah. So people, I mean, in the interest of the theme of the podcast, which is live well long, it's so important for them, for those that are trying to build, whether it's a bakery or a restaurant or a tech. Well, I guess tech companies can maybe do this on their own, or unless they,
Yes.
but maybe not. Who knows? But to decrease stress, which is what we need. One of the things that's so
Mhm.
important to live well long is to manage stress, because stress
Mhm.
is around us all the time. So how do we manage it? And being able to take action in the areas that cause us stress. So for example, if you want to build your business and you need an online presence and your thing is baking bread and not doing websites,
Right.
someone with your services, or selling medical marijuana, as you said,
Mhm.
it's unbelievable. Wow. So tell us, so how did you get started? You started with print.
Mhm.
So are you self-taught, or how did you get
So I
print
went to
design?
college for graphic design, and then I did, like I said, a lot of years in print publications and some freelancing, and then the pandemic hit, and as many people sort of, wasn't really a pause because at the time my son was 1, so we kept him home for a bit in the beginning, and I was trying to work my full-time job, and I had been there for 5 years, and there was just like a bit of that burnout of, I'm not as fulfilled as I was when I helped
Right.
launch this. And I remember how much I loved launching this business with the publisher.
Right. And that
just
was the
for-
print, that was the print.
Yep, the print magazine. We were launching it from scratch. It was her idea, her baby, but I got to be her creative director. So I started, you know,
Nice.
the look, the feel, all of that. And so I loved that idea of the launch. And so that sort of led me into this world. And the magazine had a WordPress site. And so I had been maintaining it and doing some minor updates. We had a developer develop it and do the stuff that I now do.
Mhm.
But working with the developer kind of helped answer questions on how some of this stuff gets done. And so then I found an online course, and that helped kind of round out the building of the WordPress sites. And I'm still learning every day. You know, this week I've been learning more and more about another thing that's on the rise is privacy policies, and people are getting, you know, and making sure that you have the right cookie notices and all that kind of stuff to protect you from being tracked.
I'm taking notes.
I know. It'll probably be number 11 on my checklist when I update it. It's just that, you know, the European Union has really strict laws that are, and California has them now. So like new laws are going on to the books. I think I heard there's like 5 more coming out next year. So you want to protect yourself, because that opens you up for a lawsuit if you don't have the right. It's crazy. So
I know, I saw one of the things you mentioned, and I don't want to be do a spoiler alert, so I won't say what it was. That people that get your checklist will see it, but I was blown away. But somebody had a lawsuit about something that they just didn't have, a feature they didn't have. That's crazy.
And so we live in a society that's a thing. And so as I keep learning, again, to go back to how I pivoted, was this idea that I wanted to help. Like I've worked at 2 very small businesses and helped them a lot. And so now I get to help people with that really exciting part of getting started and making sure that you've got the groundwork set to build and grow and scale. And then, you know, hopefully in a year or 2, when it's time to revamp the website, you come back to me. But to feel confident and to know that you've got all of those like little pieces set up and ready to go, that was really what I wanted to start doing. And so I quit my job and I started this, and haven't looked back for it almost 2 years now.
Nice. So if someone already has a website done and they're listening to this and they're having one of these, I'll skip the word, but one of those, oh no moments, can they reach out to you and say, look at my website? Is it
Absolutely.
okay?
I do have an auditing service. Where especially if it's a WordPress site, if you wanted to give me admin access, I can go in there and I can look at it and kind of give you a feedback after you see the checklist. I'll have your email, and I'll send a follow-up that would offer that sort of audit for you. If that's something that then we could either discuss or give you a game plan.
Right. So it's something you would either do, or the person could hand off to their web person.
Right. Get like a list of what they should improve if they already have a web person, if they don't want to do a full redesign, that sort of thing, or become one of my maintenance clients. I also take on, there's a service that within the audit, I then would set you up with all of my tech. There's a one-time startup fee and then a monthly recurring where you know that you're handled. I've got all the backups. I've got everything updated. As I learn new things, I implement them in to my recurring maintenance clients. So there's a lot of avenues for how I can help you.
So recurring maintenance means basically like every month or 6 months, whatever it is, you review it and actually make the changes on their website.
Every month, well, with my monthly maintenance packages, it's weekly updates, daily backups, all sorts of there's a whole lot of stuff that I offer
excellent
as like a recurring.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you can help people live well long.
I hope so.
Without being a medical person or selling herbs.
I just want to take that stress, especially if you're a service provider or an entrepreneur, you're already busy all the time. You don't need to worry about if your website breaks. And so take that stress off your plate.
Yeah. Wow. Well, this is awesome. So tell me, I know we discussed a free gift for people, and I have it here, and I'll put it in the show notes, but I'll read it to folks. It's Caitlin spelt, and I'll spell it CAITLIN Harrison, HARRISON, creative.com. So it's CaitlinHarrisonCreative.com/website, then a hyphen, and the word checklist. But if you type that in, you will be able to get a free website checklist, which gives you even more things to look out for as you either create or look at the website you already have, and then you know how to get in touch with Caitlin.
Yes.
because she certainly sounds like she's got some awesome tips for people, awesome ways of keeping your website and you out of trouble.
Yes.
Right.
You know, I don't love that we live in a world like this, but you know, and a lot of these are things that the bigger corporations really need to, you know, CYA. But
Exactly. Yeah.
but as a small independent contractor, you don't want to get hit with these, and some of the penalties can be pretty steep these days. So
Yeah. Holy moly, gosh. You know,
I just love my whole goal is to make people really love their business and not have to worry about this kind of stuff, and also make it look great, because that's what I love to do. So
yeah. Wow. Wow. So people should definitely go check out your website, CaitlinHarrisonCreative.com. And then
Mhm.
to get your free gift, put a /website - checklist in there. That's awesome. And can't wait to go jump on your website and go deeper into it. So I know your checklist is awesome. I was
Yes,
very
thank you.
impressed with that. So,
Thank you.
have to share some of your information with my VA.
Yes.
Very cool. So people can reach you at CaitlinHarrisonCreative.com. There, I'm assuming there's a contact me
Yep,
link in there
there
somewhere.
is. Mhm.
Okay, very good. Any last things you want to share with folks about how to deal with stresses of technology?
Yeah. Just take a deep breath.
Mhm.
Know that everything is fixable, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. There's always an answer.
Right.
And if I don't know it right off the top of my head, I am always diligent to go find it. So
Right. It's always somebody who knows.
yep.
That's the
So
important thing.
just try not to, don't let it wake you up in the middle of the night that you don't have XYZ.
Right. Just send Caitlin a message on her website
Exactly.
in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
You can do that in the middle of the night. Go there and send her a help me message. Well, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this will be up in probably a week or so.
Okay, great.
Thank you so much for this. Everyone, once again, it's Caitlin Harrison, Caitlin spelled CAITLIN, Harrison, creative.com /website - checklist. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.